Good morning, world. It's Monday and today's the first day of school. Yay? I'm not used to being on time for a lot of things, so we'll just take this one step at a time and see how it goes. Yeah. Back in the halls of Lowell High School. Ah. Deep breath. Deep breath. I hate it when they switch your schedule around, but it happened to me again, for the second time. So that's it. That's the assembly. Couldn't even have a sunny day for the first day of school. That's okay. But today, since it is the first day of school, I want to talk about a topic that I've been meaning to do for a while, and that is the social limits of filming. You'll see what that's about later. So let me clear up one thing. When I use the word filming, I'm talking about vlogging in public, which is what I always do, sort of, like I'm doing it right now. But anyway, there are two different types of restrictions on vlogging in public. One is just being not allowed to, and one is just choosing not to for a certain reason, which I'll get into in a second. Have I ever gotten in trouble for filming in public? Actually, yes. I won't get too much into it, but it was at a place where so apparently cameras weren't allowed, but there weren't any signs anywhere. But yeah, that wasn't too big a deal. But the other more interesting restriction to talk about is choosing not to film in public for a certain reason. Before we answer that question, we kind of have to ask ourselves, what's the purpose of filming, vlogging, as opposed to more conventional blogging? And I think the answer to that is that filming captures more reality. It's more genuine because it's in real time, if that makes any sense. This means that there is only one situation in which I would choose not to film, and that is that if filming would actually change the feel of that situation in some way. So the biggest example of this is in social interaction. It's hard to film that, especially if there are very few people. It's hard to film social interaction because when you have a camera out, and people see it, that you're recording something, the behavior changes. And that isn't genuine at all. Why am I talking about this today? Well, if you remember back in April, I started videotaping a little bit, just kind of subtly, in every class that I had, and that actually turned out okay. But, you know, I have a bunch of new classes this semester. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do that for every class. I'll try to, but of course there are social limits, and of course there are teacher-all limits. But you know, when I'm not interacting individually with people, or if they actually don't mind me filming them, then that's okay. I can be like this. See? Yes, weird looks. Okay, I changed my mind, so I didn't film in classes yet. Yeah, the classes I've been to, both were APs, so they were a little bit too tense, at least for the first day. You might be thinking, what's the big deal? I used to film all the time. And I guess that's, well, because when I started vlogging, I was already extremely familiar with the classes I was in, so that made it a lot easier. Oh, and post-AP classes, those are a breeze. Oh, finally, I found some friends. Lunch in the Rage. This is a nice little sanctuary.
Oh wait, this is on video. Oh crap, it's gonna go on Facebook. Oh man, you suck, David.
Okay viewers, I'm back home from the first day of school, and it was kind of a mixed experience. The morning classes were kind of pretty tense, and the later classes were actually all pretty relaxed. But I'll just keep taking this one step at a time and try to get used to this new schedule and everything. So one last thing I want to say. I always think that the first day of a semester is always a little bit stressful because you have to find the right seat, and I've actually been kind of worried about, you know, who do I sit next to, or you know, where in the classroom do I sit. You might think that has a very small effect, but rewatch vlog number 6. These little tiny things that we change, these variations that we can change, actually can have a very profound effect, especially if these decisions are made early on, and it's the first day of the semester. So I'll just close with that. I better get started on homework.